Welcome again to the Melling Law YouTube channel, where we talk about different estate planning topics relevant to people living in Utah. Today, we're going to continue our series about managing other people's money, specifically about power of attorney documents. Now, this Managing Other People's Money title is borrowed from the book series published by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. We've included a link below to find the publication specifically related to power of attorney, agents under a power of attorney, and some of the ethical dilemmas you may face there, and best practices to make sure you're protecting the person you're acting for and yourself. Because the last thing you want is to be accused of financial exploitation or mismanagement of funds. Now, some of these are things that you take care of in the planning phase. So when someone's doing an estate plan, if there's any possibility to have more eyes on these documents or on the accounts, we usually want that, because then people can kind of see what's going on. There's really not this veil of secrecy, so it's a little easier to avoid allegations of anything going on. But powers of attorney are often misused, and we even people who may not do anything that they feel is wrong according to law may be. So some of those things that we run into, especially with powers of attorney, are let's say a parent is aging and one of the children wants to is taking care of them and is using those funds to cover rent and utilities and food and things like that. And while that may be appropriate, especially if it's mom and dad's house, so their mortgage payment would be paid by them, their utilities would be paid. But if mom and dad are in a facility and you're the one using the water and the power, you probably should be paying for that on your own. Same thing for cable. Same thing for the groceries. If you're buying groceries for everyone using that power of attorney, that might not be appropriate. It would be okay to use it for whatever groceries mom and dad are using, but for anyone else living in that house, probably not, because your job as an agent under a power of attorney is to represent the best interests of the person who signed the document. So in representing mom and dad's best interests, even if they would have freely given that food to everybody in the house, it kind of shifts once you're taking over on their behalf. So always be careful of that. The other one we see often is kind of patterns of giving. Let's say that mom or dad had one of their children or grandchildren that they regularly gave money to or helped for whatever reason. If you continue that pattern under a power of attorney, unless that power of attorney specifically authorizes that pattern, then you probably need to stop that, because that is, once again, another action that is not necessarily in the best interest of mom or dad, even if it's something they would have done for themselves. So you often run into these ethical issues. Feel free to discuss them with an attorney, or read the book published by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau that we'll link below, and that'll help you kind of spot some of these issues, and we'll cover these in later videos as well. Thanks for watching.